So, as I said in the chat box, my name is Petra, and I'm currently second year student on the Bachelor of Science in Education and Training program here at this U. And you're all welcome to tonight's session. I'll keep it kind of short, just a quick overview of my story, how did I get here, and then just a few notes about the course itself. You are welcome to pop questions into the chat box throughout the talk, and then I will just answer them at the end. In most cases, they might be answered straight away through the presentation as well. So first, how did I get to DCU? When I was researching my career options in school, I knew I wanted to work in education, but I didn't know quite specifically which area to focus on. I was kind of spread in between the early childhood, post-primary, further ed, kind of training, more research, more stuff popped up. So I attended lots of open days across the island, including the DCU ones, trying to find what fits me best. I also went to countless meetings with my guidance counselor, who actually ended up recommending this course for me. And once I looked at it, I knew it was for me. And you can also see my story with DCU up on DCU social media. Might help you out as well, understanding how did I get where I am now. So the course itself is all based at St. Patrick's campus. It is just down on Drumcondra Road, quite small, convenient to get around. It homes the Institute of Education, which basically building there focuses entirely on education. All the courses on St. Pat's have connections with the education sector, so divided into early childhood, primary education, further ed, and then arts degree are kind of split for post-primary in between the St. Pat's campus and the All Hallows just across the road. It is also home to the Further Education and Training Research Center, which kind of helps people once they graduate from their courses. They might go into the research area of their choice and go there and do work around there, work with other lecturers, work with other stuff around the campus. And as I said, the one thing I love about the campus is that it's small and convenient. I can get around it quite easily. It's all kind of in one place as well. And once you get used to where the rooms are and kind of where your lectures are going to be located, it is kind of like a 10-15 minute walk maybe from one end of the campus to the other, like at most. The course itself is structured with a 3 or 4 year option. So with the 3-year option, you would be having the modules like these ones. So each year you will be getting modules to kind of add up to the 60 credits that you need to pass the year itself. And the first year will be kind of more focused on the theoretical practices and kind of history of education, kind of like scrapping into it, welcoming you into the course. I love the academic reading and writing one, which kind of helps you with your assignments. Later on you will see there is 0 written exams for this course. It is all CA, so kind of group work, project work, presentations, essays, those kind of things. So this module was created specifically to help you with that once you transition into the further education, especially if you're coming straight from secondary school. It helps with how do you write an academic essay, how do you do research, how do you do plagiarism, etc. And then going into second years, we would be focusing a little bit more towards at the placement. So there is 2 placements options, depend on which option of the years you're using. So for the 3-year option, there would be a short placement in second semester that I'm about to go on next week actually and start off. So semester 1 of second year would be focusing more maybe on the practical stuff like your lesson planning, assessment and feedback, how to give those, how to conduct those, policy and structures around education, and then also mediation skills that we just started today as well, kind of all to help you once you're out on placement to know what you're doing and to give your best. And then your third year in 3-year option would be your final year, where you will be focusing on your research, quality, access, values, psychology, all of those. You're getting your research project, meeting with your mentors, your lecturers, and working towards that to finish off the course, at the end of which you would have qualification to work in further education. With the 4-year option, it would be exactly the same structure for the first 2 years, and then at the end of second year, we would be going either into the year 3 placement year for a full year, or straight into the year four or year 3, depending on your option. So for the 4-year option, having your first 2 years, and then the year 3 placement would be separated into 2 blocks of placement. So for your 2 semesters, I will talk about that later on as well. And then in this option, year 4 would be, as per general, as I said, year 3, your final year, your research, and kind of thinking where you're heading afterwards. So there is an option to view the course structure if you're interested in little modules, little subjects. All you have to do is visit this page, www.tcu.ie/DC235. Once you're up there, you're going to see a menu tab where you click into the structure. There's a link for more information on the course structure. Click here. Once you click that, it's going to open this. So this is currently the overview of current first years. All the modules they have. As you can see, it's split into core and optional modules. So all years have this, your core modules, which you would be taking, and then some optional modules which usually don't carry any kind of credits for you to pass the module, but rather to allow you to kind of expand your knowledge if you're interested in any of the areas. For example, this semester I will be taking a module on social media and how to incorporate that into the education sector I'm going into. There is also, as you can see, it's divided, tells you which semester you're taking the module in. And as you can see, there's 0 exams, no written exams, all CAs. It also gives you the credits, so how much the module is worth, and they all add up to 60 in the end to allow you to pass the course. As I said, for the continuous assessments is all CAs, so that would be including group work, presentations, essays. They would usually be going out at the start of the semester, and then you would have 10 to 12 weeks to complete it. There will be some guidance from the lecturers as well about how to do the work. Lots of them allow you to do kind of like a draft halfway through. Let's say for an essay, you would be doing your introduction of, let's say, 1,500 words essay. They would look over that. They would then tell you if that's good or bad, if you're on the right track, or if you have to correct anything before you actually submit. They are all very generous about that, kind of like there to help you out. So that's very, very good. And now onto the placement year. So that's in 3rd year. You would decide at the end of 2nd year if you want to do it or not. You would basically be observing and teaching in further education and training sector. So either a PLC college or community education sectors, or kind of like corporate. Would include about 100 hours of you teaching the class, and then about 60 hours of observation. Would be a mix of both on the placement itself. And the most important things kind of like about the placement year would be that it's recognized by the Teaching Council of Ireland, meaning once you complete your 4 years, you would be able to instantly register with the Teaching Council, get your teaching number, and you can go off, you can sub, you can work straight away. So that's kind of like an added bonus if you do the 4 years option. After this, you might be asking still, why this course and not one of the other ones? My personal opinion would be that it's broad course on the education with still kind of opportunity for some accreditation in further education setting. So when you're going into the course material-wise, there would be lots across the space, kind of teaching practices, methodologies, history of education, kind of all spread out. There would be a focus, especially going into the final years, more about FET, but it's quite broad, perfect for someone if you're not sure what you want to do in education. It gives you that opportunity to taste out, especially with a 2nd year placement, which can be in education settings. So that would be the Montessori's, primary schools, secondary schools, anywhere that has a set curriculum, basically. But then at the end, you wouldn't be left with something that you might not want to do at all. You would be having opportunity to go on, and maybe if you are in the end interested in primary teaching, be going on doing your PME afterwards and just work that way. Or if you realize along the way that that's not for you at all, you do have your accreditation in FET, and that sector itself has a million of opportunities, as you'll see in a little while. If you are interested in FET sector itself, if you came from it, you would be perfect for this course. So you would be getting your 3 years then, maybe, or for if you want your teaching council number. and then after that going straight into the sector that you want to teach in. Again, the setting is well up to you. It's also flexible quite as a course. It's easy to manage with the other things in life. At the moment, I only have 2 days per week in college having lectures. Today would be one, and then on Thursdays I would be having lectures. They would mostly be kind of all together, so that'd be kind of either from 9 to 5 or 9 to 1, kind of all together. So it allows me then the other days to either do my placement, as I'm doing this semester for Mondays, or do other stuff like do my part-time work or hang out with friends or even just relaxing. Sorry about that. And there's also, I often like to sell it as another route to primary teaching. So if you're cautious of how high the points would be for primary, and you're not sure if that is exactly for you, don't want to be in a situation where after 4 years or 3 years or whatever it is, that you don't want to do primary, you can go with this one. It is a bit of a longer route, so you would be taking your 3 or 4 years course and then another year or two of PME. But at the end, like, it can give you that option of completely changing your mind and going completely different route as well. And the points are kind of quite, not say low, but they are low compared to the primary teaching, because there is not as such demand, unfortunately, as there is for the primary teachers. So the possible careers out of this one, there's a ton of them. So obviously the most obvious one would be teaching in FET sector afterwards. You can do also postgrad and further study in this area or in the area of your choice that you may have come across over the modules, such as psychology or working in a special ed sector. You could also do the training side of it, so go into industry, do corporate trainings, such as with kind of Microsoft or Google or those. You could do educational publishing, so go into writing articles and kind of publishing yourself, do papers on different studies in the area. You can also do become an education officer or work in student support, either on the course or in the university, or be involved in different EU programs. There is literally so many more of them that, like, I could talk about it for hours. Fortunately, don't have that time, so here's kind of like main ones. But then, like, whichever module you come across during your 3 or 4 years, you would potentially have a chance to end up in that sector, or even maybe end up teaching on the program itself, like some of my lecturers are doing at the moment. Now onto the entry requirements. So what do you have to have for it? They're quite basic. They are kind of the entry requirements for the university itself. There wouldn't be any kind of extra ones. With the living certificate, it is a minimum of 6 living certificate subjects at either O6 or H7, so your passes. This must include English or Irish and then maths, and in addition, at least 2 have to be H5 level. If you're coming from the QQI side or the FITEC level 5, you must have attained the full level 5 award with the distinctions in 5 of the modules. There are no restrictions on the topic of it, so from my understanding, that would be like whatever you did in kind of like a PLC level. Once you have your 5 distinctions, you have your full award, you can come here if you start getting interested in education. And then for mature students, it will be usual practice applying through the CAO for mature students. There is also the foundation program with the Whitehall College that I won't get into too much today. You can find out about it on the university web pages. Basically, some people that are doing it that I know from my course, they're doing some of the modules over in Whitehall each year, and some of the modules they're doing with us. So kind of like, again, back route into the course itself. There is always a couple of places reserved for that course on our kind of main one. And that will be kind of it for this presentations. I did talk just now about the entry requirements. If there are any other questions that popped up into your head, you can just type them away. I will be online for about another 5 minutes. Would you be able to teach any topic you like after achieving the course? So yes, this would be focusing with the qualification from the course itself on further education setting. So afterwards, you might specialize in, let's say, communications or special education needs, and then you would go on and maybe teach that subject specifically in the area you're interested in, or even any of the kind of your hobbies, if it's singing, if it's dancing, if it's maybe like creative writing. you might discover that there is a demand in one of the colleges near your place or one of the community education centers that are looking for that exactly, and you might pop in and say, look, I have this teaching degree, I am passionate about this, in the specification, and work away that way. So there is a ton of options afterwards. It is based on FET sector, but you can kind of work your way around as well. With a little bit of further study, it takes you a long way, even maybe taking like a level 5 course in cosmetics and then teaching it at a PLC level. Is a QQI level 5 adequate to do the foundation course in Whitehall? You would need to check out their page specifically. It might be for level 5, might be different qualifications because it's not straightly kind of connected, that your entry requirements for this would be the same. So definitely check out the webpage on Whitehall College webpage. That'd be the best place to look after. If you are doing the foundation course in Whitehall, that would be your direct connection. From what I understand, your direct connection with this course. So it would be kind of like a mix of modules between the two colleges, let's say, and then you would be going into this course, getting your qualification. That's at least what I gathered around from my friends that are doing it at the moment. Again, I'll be checking that out as well on their webpage. Anyway, I'll be online 2 more minutes until this is over, and then there are no more questions. I do hope you enjoyed the talk, find out something new. I'm always available on Unibody as well. You can just drop your any further questions down there, and I will try and answer them as quickly as possible and find out someone that knows the answer if I don't know myself. Or alternatively, you can also email student help. They'll be happy to help out as well if it's something not directly connected with the course. Thank you.